the Balls Podcast.
With Mark Davis, Kriska Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle. Good evening. It is a rare Friday night for the boys here in All About the Balls podcast. It is Friday, March 7th, 2025. And boys and everyone listening, we are back. It's been 3 weeks and a couple days since we've been in here. A couple days after the Super Bowl when the Eagles destroyed the Chiefs. We had to overreact to that. Not much to overreact to. But boys, we're back. Chris will be joining us. Luke, Doc, welcome in. Luke, I'll start with you. Wardrobe change I see just minutes before the show. How are you doing, man? Just coming back here for a few weeks.
Yeah, and I had to switch up real quick before we got on here. I had to get presentable before we got on the show. But yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, busy 3 weeks. You know, new year, so starting off a bunch of new shit at work. You know, I feel like to change shit in the new year. So yeah, it's been a lot.
Beard looks good.
Yeah, still got it going. You know, nice little waiver going on. So I'm gonna abuse it while I can.
Doc, man, how are you doing here as we are literally going to be overreacting? The Bears about to be on the docket. They've made a couple moves for your boy Caleb Williams, man. How are you feeling, man? Just a couple of nights away. We're literally 3 nights away from legal tampering for NFL free agency.
Yeah, no, I mean, excited. You know, free agency's coming up. You know, we're taking on some hefty contracts in the trades, and I expect a extension to be coming down to Thuney, but you know, we filled some holes that can hopefully open up different opportunities in the draft to fill, you know, needs elsewhere. But we still got to get some youth and we got to get some health in that offensive line. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, boys, it's going to be a fun night, man. Chris will be joining us very, very shortly. Like I said, he's just got to do a couple things. But let's jump into it, man. Luke, this is going to be right up your alley, man. The Cincinnati Bengals, man. Do they have some drama, man? We have T. Higgins being tagged back-to-back years. He was the one to announce it. Trey Hendrickson has requested a trade. They're granting that permission to let him seek teams. And then, of course, Ja'Marr Chase. Luke, when are they going to fucking pay him? That's the real question. So what do we make of the Cincinnati Bengals drama going on out there in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Queen City?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the same thing they did last offseason. They're just pushing their deals as far out as possible. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't pay Chase until like right at the beginning of the season. I don't understand what they're doing. It makes no sense. Yeah, I get it. Like, they had by net worth the poorest owner in the NFL. I guess he just doesn't have the upfront money to front these guys, and he's doing everything he can to try to make Joe Burrow happy, but he's doing the exact opposite, I think, right now. He's letting away the top pass rusher last season. He's just going to let him look for a trade. And they're looking for, what, a second or third round pick? Like, come on. I get the guy's going to want like $30 million a year. I get that. But
last 2 seasons, Luke, he has the most sacks the last 2 seasons combined. 17 and a half each season. Yeah.
And their other defensive linemen just retired because like they're going to cut him. Like, what are they doing? Like, they already had a shit defense. Now they just lost they're losing their 2 best players on defense already.
Yeah, I mean, and the question too, Doc, we're talking about like the Cincinnati Bengals dramas. Ja'Marr Chase, you know, they could have had him paid last year. And we see this, the longer and longer you wait, the more and more money it's going to cost. JJ Watt said today or yesterday on the McAfee show is the sooner you get paid, the better it is for you and your team. Because now you don't have to sit here and get the most money because now Ja'Marr Chase, he won at $40 million. Is that going to be now $42, $43 million? How much more is that going to go up each time a receiver gets paid?
Yeah, they're sitting there, they're watching what the Eagles do and just do the exact opposite of that. That's what the Bengals are doing.
Doc, do you think Hendrickson, though, will be traded? Do you think T. Higgins might be on the – there's rumors that T. Higgins might be traded as well, that this is just a controlling piece for them just to get rid of him.
Honestly, yeah, I think they're both gone. If one's going to stay, I think it's going to be Hendrickson because Isobo's coming in, and you know he's been playing well. Where I think they can afford to lose T. Higgins. Not that I think they can afford to lose him, but if they lost T. Higgins versus Hendrickson, it'd be a better outcome for them. But honestly, this fucking team is just poorly managing their players. They don't know what they're doing, and you know. It's clear they only want to pay Joe Burrow and that's it, and let everybody else go. And hey, I mean, you know, have a top tier quarterback and be in the bottom of the league for the rest of his career. That's fine.
What happened to Joe Burrow, boys? Also restructuring that deal. Didn't he say a few weeks ago he would be willing to do that to keep these guys? I mean, that was
He probably found out it wasn't going to help keep him.
Well, that owner probably doesn't have the upfront money to pay him too. You need that cash on hand.
Yeah, because I think that stuff when you restructure, it comes out of the owner's wall. It's not part of the cap space.
Well, they convert it to like a signing bonus, but you pay them all that money up front instead of paying it through the season. So he probably doesn't have the money up front. Like this is his only business is the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's doing a poor job fucking running this franchise. He's been doing it the last 20, 30 years, and what do they have to show for it? They made one Super Bowl appearance.
The window's a 2-year window too. Like, I mean, you had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Teague. You had Tyler Boyd for a couple of years with them. So like you had Joe Mixon. Like you had talent on offense. The defense wasn't that bad a few years ago.
They had talent on defense, but they let their best players go.
Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates is stud.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, baby.
Yeah, that's Carson Palmer hair there, Doc. But I mean, he was a beast though. But
Carson Palmer was good too.
Palmer was great, and obviously like they had that nasty leg injury in the playoffs against the Steelers back in the day when Big Ben won his first Super Bowl. But like you said, Jesse Bates, Luke, arguably, I mean, everyone's gonna argue he's arguably one of the best safeties. He could be top 3, top 2, depends on who you're asking. Obviously, I'm a little biased, so I'll stay out of that argument. But he is one of the top safeties, and you let him go. Well, yeah, you have Kyle Hamilton, so yeah, we have top safeties in the league.
They're very different. They're very different players, though. They play very differently.
Yeah, Hamilton's more up. It's like me, like I compare like the Seahawks. Like Hamilton's more like Cam Chancellor. He's up in the box. Jesse Bates is more like Earl Thomas. He's out there playing center field. He's ready to intercept passes, knock some receivers out. But yeah, the Bengals, man, they need to figure out because this division's it's no picnic. The Steelers are still the Steelers. They'll compete depending on what the quarterback situation is. And the Ravens, they're still the Ravens. You have Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, maybe DK Metcalf. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. So yeah, the Bengals need to figure out because that window's only seemed to be a 2-year window.
Yeah, it's getting real tough for them. Like the Ravens, we're returning most of our players from last season. It depends on if we extend people or not because all of our tight ends are another deal, like 1 year. I got Derrick Henry for another year. I'm sure some of these guys are going to get some extensions. Pick up Kyle Hamlin's his 5th year, and Linderbaum, waiting to see if they're going to pick up 5th-year options for them or extend.
The big name for y'all is Ronnie Stanley. We'll see what happens. The Patriots.
Yeah, he's only our big-time free agent, and it's not like, yeah, it would suck to lose him, but he played his best year in a contract year. Like that's what he did.
He was healthy too. Finally.
Yeah, he finally played a full healthy season. Now he played pretty good, except the first game against the Chiefs where he couldn't line up on the line of scrimmage.
It seemed like only your team couldn't do that. I mean, only Ronnie Stanley couldn't do it. One drive. Guys, we started to mention it. We're talking drama, right? Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Doc, I'm glad that you kind of actually wanted to push the show to tonight because right before we're about to go live, Geno Smith gets traded for a 3rd rounder. DK Metcalf requests a trade after Tyler Lockett gets released. So now all you have is Jackson Smith-Njigba and Sam Howell, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. The defense was Zach McDonald. McDonald. He could build a defense. I'm not worried about him. But what is going on with the Seattle Seahawks, guys?
What an absolute fucking joke on both sides of the ball. First of all, for anybody in their right mind to think that Geno Smith is worth a 3rd, it's fucking bananas.
I remember when Doc was high on Geno that first year after Seattle, too. It's good to see you come around, Doc.
I thought the dude deserved to get a chance and get paid, but I wouldn't have given a 3rd rounder for him.
He got paid.
I wouldn't pay him neither. I wouldn't have paid him. But
dude, $20 million a year for a quarterback ain't shit in this league.
Well, guess what? The Raiders about to pay him. He's about to have a new deal, Doc. $40 to $45 million is what he's seeking, and they're the heavier.
You know what, man?
He's going to get signed.
All I can think here is good luck to the Raiders, and you guys just like punishment. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is a fucking terrible move. This is not. First of all, this is not a franchise quarterback, and that was made clear in Seattle. Second of all, if he doesn't pan out, you're just going to keep paying him. I mean, we don't know how much is going to be guaranteed because there's no deal yet, but expect to just keep paying him for nothing. Third of all, they don't have the weapons or the team to even it would not even that it matters. I mean, Geno's a good placeholder, but a 3rd-round pick is just excessive. I'm not like against the Geno Smith deal entirely. I just think that this is not a team. I mean, it's a team that needs a bridge quarterback, but not a team that's ready to compete. They don't have the weapons, and to pay him $45 million a year is absolutely insane. And shout out to the Seahawks for really taking the brunt end of this one, because with the 18th overall pick, I don't know how the fuck you're going to replace him.
Well, Shador might. I mean, the rumors are Shador could fall. I know they're saying he might be like a Kenny Pickett situation where he fell to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Raiders do. Well, the Seahawks picked before the Raiders, so maybe Shador does fall. That's the big reports are that the Giants are going to pass on him. They're going to go veteran. Obviously, the Browns might go Cam Ward. The Titans or Browns will go Cam Ward is what everyone's saying. So what happens to Shador Sanders? Jackson Dart's a name that's somehow getting floated. Maybe 1st round, maybe early 2nd round is what they're saying too. So
honestly, I would love to see Shador go down to the 7th round.
Yeah,
well, that's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna. But Luke, I mean, we're talking real quick. Let's talk the Geno situation. Is he had DK, Lockett, and Jackson Smith in the jig for the last 2 years, and he couldn't get the job done. Now I know they have Brock Bowers. Yeah, they have Brock Bowers. He's a stud. We're not going to deny that. But what's the Raiders thinking, trying to go after Geno and pay him long term? That means they're pretty much out on quarterback. That means they said, hey, we don't want the quarterback class this year. We probably don't want the QB class next year as well.
And that's my problem, because you already saw that Geno couldn't get it done with a studded wide receiver core. So why do you think it's going to be different in Vegas?
Yeah, I think Geno's just going to be that bridge quarterback. I think he's a 1-2 year kind of placeholder for whatever quarterback they try to draft. Like
March,
they go
2027.
I don't know if they're going to wait that long.
Well, that's 2 years. That'd be the 2 years, 25, 26, and then go get
Yeah, well, he could be the I would think they want to get a quarterback this year to sit behind Geno. I mean, Geno's been around the NFL. He knows how to be professional at least. I mean, he's not great, but some rookie quarterback can sit behind and learn from, like it's Sanders or Dart or one of these other guys. Or if they wait till like the 3rd, 4th, 5th round with some of these mid-tier quarterbacks, they grab Ewers or Dylan Gabriel.
And that's what. So I remember. I don't know if you remember this, Luke. I did say when Pete Carroll got
Cowboys
signed,
might grab him. Cowboys might grab Ewers.
That could too, because they're being rumored to draft a quarterback. But remember, I said when Pete Carroll got signed, hey, he drafted Russ in the middle rounds, and I said I'm not just the two Quinn Ewers or because he's a Longhorn, but I'm saying like a guy like Dylan Gabriel, a guy like Quinn Ewers, a guy at the time Jackson Dart, but he's had a hot jump right now. So maybe like a guy like Jalen Milroe, those guys that maybe float in the 3rd round, maybe the Pete Carroll Seattle Seahawks go after him. That's what he did with Russ. I mean, they signed Matt Flynn, and then they drafted Russ, and Matt Flynn never really started. So I could see that happening with Pete Carroll and the Raiders.
Yeah, I would assume the Raiders have some sort of plan going on. Now Seahawks, I don't know what their plan is. They're just restarting. They're pulling the Jags and just restarting. I don't know if it's just Mike McDonald wants to build his own team now or something like that. He's like, he's got his 1 year under his belt. He's like, all right, I'm gonna build my fucking team now.
I see that being a deal where like you package something, move up higher in the draft, or you got a high draft pick, but like literally, is it still Drew Lock behind Geno? Like if you thought DK wanted a fucking trade before,
it's Sam Howell. Drew Lock was on the Giants. He's a free agent now.
Oh, that's right, Sam Howell. If you thought that, unless this was a way to open up for Sam Howell because maybe they believe in Sam Howell like that, but if you thought DK wanted a trade before, boy, let me tell you. That man is taking a discount for a trade at this point. Okay, like Luke said, I don't know what their damn backup plan. I don't know what they're trying to do because you got the 18th pick in the draft. You weren't exactly in a spot, and yeah, I mean, Shador could fall down. I'm not high on Shador.
I think
there's a lot of ego there.
Could trade if he falls in the top 10. Like if he's around 10 or 11,
you got to trade a lot to move up from 18.
So Doc, let's say this. Let's say. Obviously, the Niners won't do it at 11 because they're not going to trade in-house. But let's say like the Bears at 9. You have the 12th pick with, I believe, is the Cowboys. You have the 13 with the Colts, the 14 with the Dolphins, 15 with Falcons. If he's still around that range, could you see one of those 4 teams trading back with the Seahawks? And maybe if they do take a chance on a quarterback. Now, they're being rumored for Sam Darnold too.
I am all for. And this is where I'm confused because I don't know how Sam Darnold hasn't won the starting job for next year, even with the hype on JJ. Because honestly, if Darnold can start the way he did last year and maintain. He just fell off late in the season. So now you just got to get over that hurdle. The Vikings will be just fine. If a team in the top 10 is trading, I don't care what team it is, because even the Bears, like DK wants a trade. So you're putting DK in there. You're putting your next year's first round in there. I'm down to trade down to 18 for that because the Bears filled a couple holes in the offensive line. We need Jonah Jackson to stay healthy this year, which is a big deal. And we got to see what we do in the free agency. But if free agency goes well, I'll trade down to 18 for next year's first round pick. From a shit Seahawks team that's going to have nothing left, that's gutted, and you package some other shit with it and get a studded receiver like DK Metcalf. But I don't know if we got the money for that.
Well, I also don't think John Schneider's as dumb as the Panthers GM at the time, because I don't think they're going to trade DK, flip-flop this year's first, and give you next year's first, because DK Metcalf itself is going to be worth a little like that right there.
But when you're talking about the Panthers, you're talking about going from 9-1 versus 18-9. 18th pick ain't shit. The 18th pick is an automatic, and DK.
I get that. But you're not going to get DK and a first rounder, though. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to get both DK and next year's first, because
we got
himself,
DJ in a first.
I would say DK at the time to the trade. I would take DK over DJ Moore.
Oh,
I would take. And that's the thing is DK is value.
Listen, I would take. And here's where your bargaining chip is at. I would normally take DK over DJ as well. But DK got a fucking temper, man. DK got a fucking temper getting thrown out of games.
Dealing with. Look, I
understand. I understand. But we've seen players with a similar situation that, like, look at Antonio Brown. Oh, he's going to a new team. He'll be fine. No, the fuck he wasn't.
Yeah. DK's wanted out for a couple seasons now, though. Like,
I know
this is not something.
But
new.
how long does it take if DK goes somewhere else and it doesn't go his way? Because if DK goes to Chicago. Keenan Allen went to Chicago. He was number 2. DK going to be the number 2. So if you go to Chicago, how much effort are you going to put in, and how long is it going to be until you quit and you start doing the same bullshit?
Well, I think
the Pats are going to go after him.
Yeah, the Pats are the big name right now. Like, according to Daniel Jeremiah, DK is being rumored heavy to go to the New England Patriots. Now, they have the most. I mean, they have the most money. They could go get multiple names. Like they
I don't think the Bears can afford it. We got about 40-something million left in cap space. I don't think we can afford DK and still do what we're trying to do in free agency while going into the draft.
The Chargers are a name to be looking out for DK as well.
Honestly, after last year, the Chargers are literally receivers away from winning it all.
DK would be happy there too with the Chargers.
Vlad McConkey, you have a good coach, a competent coach with Jim Harbaugh. You have a good running team. Eventually, they're going to get the running back situated, and then you have Vlad McConkey. Like that's a good 1-2 punch right there. And the defense is getting better now. They did lose Joey Bosa. We'll talk about that, but
and DK and Ladd are such different types of wide receivers too. It works. Like he's got the big possession wide receiver, and Ladd's the route running wide receiver. So I mean, that would work for them. And you got Herbert. Herbert can throw the ball. I mean, he collapses in the playoffs or in big games, but good regular season quarterback. Get him to the playoffs at least.
He is. I mean, it's just let's go back to Seattle though. I don't know what Seattle's up to. I know Mike McDonald. He's got to figure. I mean, obviously this is I guess the look they're going for. Now they're stripping it, and hopefully they give him some years. You don't want to just say, all right, coach, we're taking away your quarterback, your number 1, your number 3 receiver. I believe Lockett was bumped down to number 3 at the end of the year. I understand. He was probably the 2 on the depth chart, but he was number 3 on the field.
Yeah, I would assume his job's pretty safe for the next 2-3 years. Just
we'll
because,
see.
But
and maybe they get Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold is the name too. So
I don't think Seattle's fan base is kind of like if you don't win now, it's not like you're going to be fired. Like if you're like the Cowboys, like you fucking
because if anybody's expecting to win now, you're wrong.
No, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, the Sam Darnold thing, but guys, something that happened. Actually, it was probably the first domino that happened was Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders. So, do we like that move for Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury in this offense?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I think that I think Terry McLaurin is a great wide receiver, but I don't think that he was enough to get him over the edge. And I think that I think Debo is a big addition to give options, especially with that Swiss Army knife style of play. Because I'm not even the run game in Washington has been somewhat disappointing recently. So I think that this is a great move. And I think that Debo can get back on track going to Washington.
Yeah, I just need Debo. I would like to see Debo slim down a little bit, kind of like he was playing in his early days. I feel like this weight gain, it's kind of hurt him. I mean, obviously he looks like he's breathing like honestly like fucking Luka. His conditioning it just seems to me is very bad. I need him to slim down, and I think it would be a great move if he does that. That's the situation that the Commanders are in. Obviously, he could do anything, like you said, Doc. In the backfield, if he needs to. He can play underneath. He's a big time receiver, but he needs to slim down.
He's also not going to be expected to be like the number one wide receiver either on the team. It's going to be Scary Terry. It's going to be
it'll be Terry.
So he'll be filling like the kind of scat wide receiver role and let Cliff Kingsbury dial some things up for him. Especially,
but wherever you put him in, he can make shit happen.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking hand him the ball if you want, or hit him as like screens or all kinds of shit.
And they have that place spot.
If he loses weight and Dan Quinn keeps his temper under control, so he's not punching kickers.
And they have that preseason tight end, Luke, that will be cut probably around week 3, Zach Ertz, so he can help out there. Maybe get Deebo Samuel ready to go too. So, Bobby Wagner. I mean, Zach Ertz, same thing. I mean, shit, they're both aging. I mean, shit, might as well say Zach Ertz is the same thing as fucking Bobby Wagner. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
Thought he's
Pro Bowler.
Welcome to the show, Chris. Welcome back, man.
Everybody's Pro Bowl.
I mean, Bobby Wagner also led the team in tackles. It wasn't like he was some scrub on the team last year.
They gotta look at recounting Pro Bowls. Like it should only count for your resume if you like got the first team like voted in. Even though it doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback apparently. I don't think he's on the team anymore.
Leave Tyler Huntley alone. He has a Pro Bowl under his belt.
Yeah, he does. So, guys, though, we're talking like let's move to
he's also the reason we lost that playoff game to the Bengals too.
So some of these big name free agency wide receivers, let's also include T. Higgins, Cooper Kupp, because they're potential trade pieces. Guys, man, this wide receiver free agency class is starting to look pretty good. You have Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs is out there, and like I said, T. Higgins and Cooper Kupp, they're trade pieces. So where do we think some of these guys are going to be moving off to?
Don't forget DK Metcalf.
Well, we just talked DK though, so like we didn't really. We mentioned Chargers Patriots for DK, Chris. Packers could be in the running too. I've seen that as well.
Yeah, if you want, I mean, good free agency for wide receivers if you want a 1 or 2 year rental, you know? These are all very old guys.
Well, Godwin's like 28, 29. He could be there for like 3 or 4 years. A full contract.
When's the last time he's finished a full season?
2023. So 2 seasons ago. He was healthy then. It was coming off the injury, then stayed healthy, and then got hurt. Every other year, you get 2 years from him, I guess. 2 full years.
So 2 years again.
I'm biased. I like Chris Godwin. I mean, I think he's good, obviously, when he's healthy, like you said, though. Adams, I think you can get 2-3 years out of him. I still think Adams has juice. I really do. I think Adams is a good – Keenan Allen now, you might get him for a couple of years. I don't know. I think Adams has got juice. T. Higgins, obviously, if you trade for him, he's got a lot of years left if you can make a move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of these guys are number one except for maybe Cooper Kupp if you get him – if he comes back to his prime.
I mean, we're talking only a couple of years. I feel like Cooper Kupp's only got a couple of years.
Yeah,
well, I agree that, but I don't think any of these guys can like sit number one wide receiver on a team. They're going to be all supporting pieces.
Yeah, not anymore. They're all like that vet wide receiver you just put in your wide receiver room,
locker room presence.
One of these is primed to be a Ravens wide receiver.
You got Juju as well.
We like our old cheap vets put in the wide receiver room.
Hey, Luke Johnson Johnson's available.
He is available. Hopefully somebody signs him for over $2 million.
Luke's praying.
Somebody better sign him for $2 million. Because we get a pick. Get a comp pick.
You would get a comp pick, man. But yeah, it's just I guess
EDC work that magic. He's like,
I guess I'm living off the ore that these guys once had. Maybe that's why I'm saying big class, because like it's just crazy. Stephon Diggs, T Higgins available, Cooper Kupp available, Keenan Allen's out there, Devontae Adams got released by the Jets, probably Aaron Rodgers as well for quarterback. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think
I don't think talent.
Too.
I don't think talent wise, but I think T Higgins is the best one out of this free agency group.
yeah, I'd like to see Devontae Adams like on a team with a good quarterback too. I think
Aaron
he's got. Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers anymore though.
He hasn't been Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, not with the Jets. I mean,
he
has some pretty good. Like Devontae Adams had some good games with the Jets though. He had some good games with the Jets though.
Rodgers at the end of the season, like the last 7-8 games, was good for the Jets, but it was too late at that point. I mean, it was the season was over.
Like if you pair Devontae Adams as like not like the wide receiver 2 role somewhere, it could be a pretty good move, especially if you can get him cheap. I don't know what he's asking for, or if he's just going to follow Rodgers anyways.
Well, apparently he wants to play in LA, so like I mean, Rams could use him.
There's 2 teams there.
Yeah,
2 teams got options.
We talked Chargers with DK. I mean, the Rams could use him, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And right now, I think Jordan Whittington's the other receiver on the team because Demarcus Robinson's a free agent. And I don't know about Tutu Atwell, but so those are your receivers right now is Puka Nacua and Whittington if you don't keep Cooper Kupp. But let's talk Chargers real quick, guys. What about Joey Bosa? The last player to play for the San Diego Chargers is now a free agent. Does he still have a little bit of juice? Do you think he could be like a good pass rusher 2 on a team?
Give him a Chase Young vibe.
Yeah, I think he's good. This is a long time coming. This is when they tried to restructure the deal last year, and he refused to. I thought
they did rework his deal last year. I could have
sworn I thought he said that they weren't.
I thought him and Khalil Mack both restructured the deals.
Maybe it was.
Khalil Mack, I know did. I know Khalil Mack did.
Yeah, I know Keenan Allen did, and that was why they traded him.
I think they both reworked their deals.
Maybe Bosa did, but either way, the
Chargers cut them both anyways.
Yeah. This is a sign of restructuring to get past the guaranteed and then cut them loose.
He did restructure. He took a $7 million pay cut last year.
Bosa did?
Okay.
Yep.
Keenan Allen got traded and probably potentially could be coming back to the Chargers.
Well, Bosa wanted to. I know he wanted to finish his career there, which kind of sucks that they cut him. But
they cut him to re-sign him for a cheaper deal. That's all.
I don't know why Jake doesn't want him to go to the Niners. He was saying go, like he was hoping to go somewhere else.
I think that'd be a good pairing. Pair the brothers up together. What happened?
That's because
I'm sure he'll take a discount to go there too.
That's because when Joey Bosa does sign with the Niners, Jake's gonna hype it up.
I knew this was coming.
Him and
I knew this was coming 3 days ago.
My insiders told me.
I can't wait to see Alan flip about the Travis Hunter if the Patriots draft him.
You're hoping they draft Travis Hunter.
Yeah, you shitting on him, but Alan's about to be fucking sucking him off.
If he's playing both sides of the ball, he'll be injured by week 4.
He put in the Discord. I found that video of Jane Daniels. He said if he goes to the Commanders, he's going to be trash. He needs to go to New England. And he's like, well, I guess I was right. I was like, what do you mean? He went to the NFC Championship. How are you? I don't know what you're right about. I mean, he went to the NFC Championship year 1 with the team he said he was going to be trash with, and they were going to destroy him. Now, I mean, I felt like he had a great rookie season.
He's too swole for you, Mark.
Well, Doc, let's talk about a team that should have drafted Jane Daniels. That's your Chicago Bears. Now, they've made moves. They got Jonah Jackson. They got Joe Thuney. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, fuck them picks.
Jonah Jackson, I'm not over the moon about. Jonah Jackson's had a lot of injury problems in his career. He was good like the first year or two, and then after that, he's just kind of gone downhill. He had 4 games last year. The injuries just keep getting worse. It's one of the reasons that we're about to cut Tevin Jenkins. Thuney, I like. It's really the only thing is the age, and he's going to still come to play. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're making real moves that are not Nate Davis kind of moves to bolster this offensive line and protect Caleb Williams. So, we've got options now. We can do with the first pick that we have in the draft. We got 2 second-round picks, 2 early second-round picks. So,
39-41.
A lot of good options, man. Ashton Jeanty is apparently a very real possibility for the Bears. There's a lot of talks going on about that. So, if we can hit the backfield with that, we can still get a good offensive lineman with the 33rd overall pick. The first that we have, 39.
I think it's 39-41.
Yeah. Either way, one of those we can get another offensive lineman to shore up. I mean, possibilities are endless right now. We still need another edge rusher, so that's another thing to look at in number 10 overall. If Genty's off the board, we still need somebody opposite of Sweat.
Chris, are you buying that Ashton Genty? I know Doc's putting right there. There's been rumors that Chicago, Ben Johnson loves those two running backs. Genty could be the first piece of it.
I think he's gone top 10.
I don't know who on the top.
Bears are number 9, so
I think the Bears are the first realistic team that would. The Raiders are the first realistic team that could do it right there, and then the Bears at 9.
I don't know. Raiders are pretty high on their core, and Raiders just got another guy.
Raiders don't have nobody at running back.
No, who did they pick up? No, he's a rookie. Laub?
You have a chance to get Laub or Ashton Genty. I mean, I get it. Hey, the Cardinals had Josh Rosen, and then the next year they drafted.
No, I'm pretty sure Laub was picked. I'm pretty sure Laub's on the Raiders.
Hey, Josh Rosen was a top 10 quarterback, and then the next year the Cardinals said, "Fuck it, we're going Kyler Murray number 1." That's kind of what the Bears could do.
No, I know that. I mean, look. The running back potential is there in Las Vegas. They just got to protect him and make holes for him. The Raiders don't have a terrible running core.
Yeah, I think Genty's problem is the whole running back class is so stacked this year. A lot of teams are probably going to want to sit and wait for the dominoes to fall, and they can grab like the running back out of Carolina or fucking
Junkins Junkins is hot right now too.
Well, both of
your boy is taking a little bit of a fall because of how deep the running back class is. Cam Scatabo, he's you love him. I know he's not your boy because not RJ Harvey.
Oh, I love Cam Scatabo.
Cam is falling now. They're saying 3rd round, and all these guys are jumping up ahead of him. So Chris said it.
Well, that's what happens when you don't do shit at the combine. The guy he did 2 events at the combine. Like, go out there and run the 40, see how fast you are. Or do some drills. I get it. You're not gonna be the fastest running back out there. He's bigger than most of them. He's fucking 220. Most of the running backs are around 200, 205, 190.
Chris said it perfectly in Discord though, and on our text messages, Luke. The day 2 and all the running backs. So that's probably they're all gonna start to filter in as day 2 of rounds 2 and 3. The running back that position is gonna be fun on. Yeah.
Once those first 2 come off the board, there's gonna be a fucking run on running backs. So everybody's gonna try to get their fucking guy. And I think every team can grab a running back. I don't think any team's locked in at the running back position. You could always use another one. You can have compliment to Saquon.
My team better not draft a running back. My team better not draft one. But that might be our. Hey, we did quarterback last year. We got Bijan and Algier. We might as well draft a running back now.
Yeah. What if one gets hurt? Guess what?
I don't want 3. I don't want 3 though.
The Ravens have 3 running backs right now. Maybe we draft one.
4. You got Lamar?
Oh yeah,
you do have Lamar.
Fine. Yeah, he's a running back that throws the ball though.
Speaking of Lamar, I'm always going to say that jersey looks pretty nice behind you there, Luke.
Oh, thanks.
Good, always
thank
looks
God
good
jersey. Right
thank God you didn't give me the one number 9 on it.
Yeah, where's the one that's at number 9 earlier?
I swore I saw number 9 popping up. Doc, did you see number 9 earlier today?
I saw a 9 floating around somewhere.
Yeah, just not on the wall.
My number. It's massages.
My number 9 is my only actual like real jersey that I have too, which is kind of sad.
Chris, have you noticed though the energy hasn't.
The rest of
allegedly.
Chris, in 2021, there was a big name that got popped with the same stuff allegedly, and the energy seemed different 4 years ago.
I don't think it was. I think I said that if he did it, I'm pretty sure I said that.
Yeah, but you said this is day 1 before he even had a chance to prove his case. Tucker, you're like, hey, let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what.
Watson was actually formally charged with shit.
Hey, man.
The Ravens probably paid these girls to fucking start shit. They're like, we don't want to cut him, but he fucking sucked last year. We need something to get him off the books.
last 2
Yeah.
years, his percentage is going down. We got to do something. But hey, guys, let's talk about an interesting team.
Allegedly, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, allegedly. It's all.
Yeah,
This is all.
hey.
We don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to be.
We
dragged
ain't got the
into-
lawyers.
We ain't got the lawyer.
If we get sued,
lawyers.
if we get sued, we just say, "Hey, we're done. We give up."
You
No
can have a
podcast.
Podcast with our 5 listeners.
Yeah, But
Nobody
anyways,
can hear it anyways.
let's talk about Duval. You know, the Jaguars
Hey,
boys.
say it the right way, Mark.
Oh,
Say
sorry.
it the right way.
Duval.
There you
It's
go.
like good. Like,
That's
pretty
perfect.
good.
That was perfect. That was.
Yeah, I'm
good.
only
You've been
fucking-
practicing.
I'm only 4 years younger than this guy too. I mean, I'm we're up his age, guys. We're there with him.
Hey,
But
Say,
well,
hey,
Doc,
say
I
to
think
the
Doc might be.
Same
I
as the
think Doc might be
GM.
older. Yeah, Doc might be older.
The
than those
GM is what,
guys.
34?
Yeah, I think Doc
Yeah.
might be older. Jake's older than the GM. I do know that. But
Jake is
This-
a GM.
he's older than this football GM. Oh, what was that, Doc? What was that? I heard something.
Duval.
Yeah.
It sounded just
Hey,
like
we're
me,
gonna get
actually.
trademarked right there.
But anyways, they released Evan Ingram last night. They've traded Christian Kirk. It's just a Brian Thomas show. Very good guy to have, honestly. ETN's a question mark. We don't know what's going on with the running back. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. Guys, what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
They still got my boy Tank Dell.
Yeah. They
Oh,
do got
Tank.
Tank Dell. What's going on with Duval, guys? This is
And Gabe Davis. Big game Dave.
Stop.
He's still there.
Stop.
Honestly, Duval is doing Duval things. I mean, the Ingram cut I get because Ingram's been battling injuries. Christian Kirk,
He was good last year, though.
I know.
Ingram was hurt
He was good when he played. He was good when he played. I had him on fantasy. He was hurt a lot.
The year before was his big year with the Jaguars. 2023.
Yeah. Christian Kirk, I don't get that move. The running back situation, I mean, Peterson's gone, so they should be able to make up their mind on what they're going to do in running back. It seems like the Jags were trying to cut out ETN, like write him out of the playbook, which didn't make any goddamn sense to me because ETN is a monster in the backfield for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is exactly, I'm going to hold that comment to myself. Trevor Lawrence needs to step it up and get it together.
I was hoping
This
for a
team,
good clip there because I'm about to do a 2-year anniversary clip of all the fun takes. I was hoping for that.
no, I
make
could.
the
That
cut
one,
right
quarterback.
that one might have
Hey.
been the line in the sand.
Yeah, he was going to talk too early about T-Law.
The first
Yeah.
video though of that 2-year anniversary is going to be Doc saying Anthony Richardson is a shit quarterback and he's a combine
Well,
merchant.
Like,
Damn,
So-
I
so
haven't
not
seen
wrong.
I haven't seen nothing prove me wrong though.
You,
Hey, that-
it is
that's
also true.
That's true.
Well, apparently it was a bad take
Not-
according to the people that commented on TikTok.
I
but
know.
Hey,
I know.
I was like-
I just
I was like, I'm agreeing with Doc. I mean, it's a funny take, but I haven't seen any proof to show he's wrong.
has he
So
crossed
very
150
solid pick.
passing yards a game yet?
His
I don't think
career.
he's played
Hey,
enough games to pass that.
Yeah, I don't think he's,
Average?
yeah. Well, he has
No,
to play enough game. Well, he has to play enough games to qualify. That's what Chris is probably saying.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about his average. Is he averaging 150 plus yards a game yet?
I don't
Because
know.
I think last time we talked about it,
Yeah,
I think he was at like
And
146.
add rushing in there. He's good.
Well, I mean, it's already year 3, and your coach and GM's already saying, "Hey, we're going to bring in competition." That's not a good look. It honestly.
You know what I'm saying?
He's also sat out a lot too. So I mean,
Yeah, he gets tired. Yeah, he gets tired and has to sit out
You
on
gotta-
keep play. Yeah, third down and
Club
goal.
me
Let's
in,
sit out.
coach.
yeah. Throw the 40-year-old in here.
Yeah, that's enough Jaguars. and
I think what that
The
really
fact-
meant was, I ain't got it. You don't want me in here for this. You're asking LeBron to take the final shot here. You don't want it.
Yeah, they're like let Daddy come in and play some ball.
Put Flacco in, but hey, that's enough Jags Colts talk. It's making me sick. Let's talk Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings because we mentioned Seattle. Guys, is Darnold bound to be with Minnesota? I mean, they're loaded. I don't know why he would want to leave. I mean, I hate to agree with Allen, but he said it's true. I don't know why he would want to leave the loaded receivers that he has. Potentially Aaron Jones coming back. Or does he go to a team like Seattle? The Raiders are obviously at the door now. The Giants are there. What team is bound to get Sam Darnold?
He
I mean, he
ain't
wants a pay
going.
cut.
Yeah, he ain't going to Seattle now that DK made it known what his intentions are.
Yeah.
Unless
Unless I pay
I
him.
mean, he
like
wants the
Chris said.
paycheck, but you got to go. You got to go to the basement for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the bottom of the barrel to get that money. And Honestly, I don't think. I mean, we've seen. Look, this Sam Darnold is not a Sam Darnold where you're talking like Aaron Rodgers coming in here going to elevate this team and hopefully make him great. We've seen Sam Darnold outside of having this star-studded wide receiver room. So if he goes to somewhere like the Seahawks, is he going to be the Sam Darnold you dread? No, he's going to be fucking New York Jets Sam Darnold. Okay, he's going to be the same dog shit Sam Darnold, the one you saw in Carolina. He's not going to be any good. He's good because the receivers around him. I'm not saying that makes him a shit QB because of it. You still got to have skill to be able to do that, but you can still get a payday. You can still get a payday in Minnesota. I don't know how. If Sam Darnold says, I'm coming back to Minnesota, I don't even know how J.J. McCarthy is in the conversation to start. Give him a chance at camp to prove what he can do. But as of right now, if I'm Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold is coming back, Sam Darnold is our fucking guy. All right? We had a hurdle last year towards the end of the season. We got to figure out how to get over that. We got to get past that mental block. But this dude was a stud for the majority of the season. We got to ride with that. We get him past that bullshit, and we're going all the way. We got what it takes. They were the best defense in the league last year.
Doc, how can they win go all the way when the Chicago Bears can compete with anybody in the NFC North, Chris? What's going on, man? It takes changing nowadays.
They can fucking compete.
You
How
can still
can
compete and lose. You can still compete.
No,
and lose.
I mean, going off what Doc said, I mean, like, I don't know how the Vikings, as a fan base, you would go as far as you did, and then you let Sam Darnold leave. That would just be crush. You try to go with J.J. McCarthy. But also, I mean, Doc said, you said, we saw what Sam Darnold did with the Jets and at Carolina. But, I mean, look what happened to Aaron Rodgers when he went to the Jets. And then look at Baker Mayfield when he went to Carolina, played like shit, and then went to Tampa.
Look at Nick Foles. Look at Nick Foles in Jacksonville. Look at Nick Foles in Jacksonville. Look at Geno Smith in Seattle. He had the one good year. It's not meant to be. I don't know how any Minnesota fan could sit here and say, bring in JJ. Like, you're going to, hey, Sam, thanks for what you did, man. You got us, damn near where we wanted to go. Thank you for everything. Now we're going to bring in this rookie that hasn't played an NFL snap in his life, and hopefully he can repeat or hopefully he can replicate. Not going to happen.
I know a Vikings fan, Luke, and he said he would like Aaron Rodgers to be there for a year, kind of like Brett Favre did, and then let Aaron Rodgers train J.J. McCarthy another year, let him sit. He'd rather have Aaron than Sam Darnold is what he's pretty much saying.
I mean,
And to be honest,
I don't know how you
yeah, you know what you're going to get with Sam Darnold. He knows the offense already.
Look,
Aaron Rodgers is going to bring a whole bunch of his own drama over there. Maybe DK comes. I mean, not DK, but Devontae Adams. But
that would be a scary wide receiver unit. Devontae Adams, JJ, and Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. That would be fucking. That'd be unguardable.
But I don't think that happens. I don't think Aaron Rodgers goes there. It's either going to be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy starting quarterback next season. And Sam Darnold's best option is to re-sign with Minnesota. Start the first, week one and go from there. If he sucks, guess what? Get a payday on the bench.
Build your stock to get paid to go somewhere that has a receiving core and not Seattle. Post DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Look, I don't know.
Tell us.
He sounds like
tell us.
He's stressing right now.
Sam Darnold is your fucking guy, man. I don't know how you come in here and think that there's any fucking alternative to this. I don't understand. I mean, if the Aaron Rodgers take is nice. I mean, it worked in Green Bay twice. You know what I'm saying? Minus the rough start to Jordan Love, but he had a great second half of the season. So the idea is nice, but that idea worked for Rodgers the first year in New York, and it sucks because that injury is, I think, what cut him out of it. But that second year, he had more weapons than he had the first year, and he couldn't make it fucking happen. Okay? It didn't happen in New York. Rodgers ain't going to make it happen in Minnesota. It ain't going to fucking be any different in Minnesota. Rodgers just doesn't have the skill anymore.
I would say the only.
I'm not saying he's shit. He doesn't have the skill anymore to turn a team around and then teach somebody like McCarthy. And you got to understand, the shit happened in Green Bay. You're talking 3 years Rodgers sat on the bench, 3 years Love sat on the bench. He ain't going to do it in 1 year.
I would say the difference between the Jets and the Vikings is the coach. I believe O'Connell
yeah.
is competent enough to run this team. Even I wouldn't say control Aaron Rodgers, put a thumb on him, but let him know, hey, this is my team. This is our locker room, this is our culture, this is our playbook. I believe Aaron Rodgers would be willingly be good enough to do that with Kevin
That's fair
O'Connell.
because that's fair
it's
because
respect. I think it's a respect thing. That's what it.
Rodgers was pretty much a player coach.
I mean, yeah, I just think O'Connell would be the difference there. I think you should just keep him. But like you guys said, it's hard to turn away Sam Darnold. Like Luke said, he knows the offense, he knows the playbook, and for the most part of the year, he did good. Minus, he lost to the same two teams. He lost twice to the Lions, twice to the Rams, and we all understood they lost because of the wildfires. It was the NFL's rigging job to get them to win. So we understand that. Hey, someone had to lose to the Rams, and it was the Minnesota Vikings. So maybe next year we
help the Chargers.
Well, but they needed the Rams like the Lakers, and the Chargers are like the Clippers. So like they need the Rams to be the team that takes them. Not
they need LA proper.
Yeah. They need like
They're not-
the royalty
they're not really-
of the LA.
They're not really LA proper either. They
It
left
was
for a
all
while.
fucking rigged.
They left for a long time.
according to Riz. Guys, let's talk the NFL Combine. You know, what an interesting couple days, couple winners, couple losers out there. Any takes?
Shedeur Sanders, exactly what I thought he was. He ain't shit.
He didn't participate.
He didn't
but
even do
okay.
anything.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
you
He
should-
ain't shit. He didn't do nothing.
He's a loser. If we're asking you, he was a loser this week.
Yeah, if you can't fucking participate in the combine, dude. I mean,
Cam Ward didn't.
is Shedeur holding out for pro day?
Most of the top five guys are.
Every top quarterback recently will hold out on the combine, and then they do so anyone that's guaranteed to pretty much go one or is about to be one is going to hold out the combine. They're going to go.
Genty didn't
okay.
participate either.
Well,
I don't think Genty showed up. Did he? I didn't see
I'll
him
retract
like
what I
that.
said.
No, I think
He showed for the interview.
He had interviews. He had interviews.
I'll
I
retract
didn't
what
see
I
any
said,
clips
but
with him there
I-
at all, though.
I'll retract what I said as far as why he's a loser, but still,
He's fallen. He's
'Cause he's
trending
cocky.
down. Well, he is trending down though. I mean,
Well,
that is
there were a couple of execs that met with him that said that he seemed
Allegedly.
disinterested.
Allegedly.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that because I read a
No,
fucking
no,
article.
Mark-
It's not on me.
Mark
I'll
will
cite
hype
the
you
article.
up. Mark will get you. Same thing with Pat.
You're right. So allegedly,
Yeah,
a couple execs met with Shedeur and he seemed disinterested. There were some teams that were high on him that are now like won't touch him with anything. Like maybe if you fall to us in the last pick in the seventh round, we might go for you.
I'm telling you, if he's there at Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin's drafting him.
Apparently, it was not just
they
the lack of combine; it was the interviews, the way he interacted. He apparently just was like not mature, not a good football player, not a good human being. Honestly, I say have fun in the CFL for a couple of years.
I think he has a good idea of where he's going already, and he doesn't give a fuck. Or he's purposely having bad interviews to not get drafted by certain teams. They've
That's
already
the other
talked
thing.
about.
Yeah,
They've already talked about,
like that.
Yeah, they've already talked about like, hey, we're not going to these certain teams anyways. They'll pull the Eli and not go to these teams if they're drafted by.
And
them.
that's
So,
the other problem is you got a guy that he does have talent, and you're letting your fucking dad run the show, dude. You're letting the dad, the media, all the bullshit right the front. You're letting everything run the show. Like, dude,
It's happened a few times.
back
in
off,
history.
man.
It's happened a few
Dad's running
times with
the
these
show.
guys.
Dad's ran the show his whole life, so nothing new for him.
Well, who were the three teams he was rocking on the combine? I'm trying to look it up now.
Who is Shedeur?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It's like when
Well, I think Giants.
Browns, Vikings, Saints.
okay. Well,
There's no way he's going Vikings.
first off, yeah, he ain't going Vikings because they drafted. Everyone said if JJ was in this year's class, he'd be the first pick.
I don't think
Honestly,
Saints will
honestly,
either.
the Saints. I think the Saints are still super high on Spencer Rattler.
I don't think so.
Well, the Vikings are also in the mid. The Vikings are also in the mid-20s. So I don't think he gets past the Steelers, and they pick before the Vikings. And that's the only way the Vikings would do is if they trade up before. Because I'm telling you, if he gets to Tomlin,
What a mistake the Browns would be after trading Amari Cooper.
if Cam Ward doesn't go one, and no one trades with the Titans, I believe Cam Ward will be the Cleveland Brown. Now, I don't think that Shedeur Sanders is going to. I think if the Cleveland Browns do not get Cam Ward, they'll go Abdul Carter. I think that's the 1-2 right there is Carter and then Hunter. Or I'm sorry, Ward. Now I just don't know which way it's leading.
I think the foot thing might be the big thing for Carter to see what actually is going on with his foot.
Yeah, I still think he's a
gonna-
winner. I mean, he's still a winner though. I mean, like his combine stock still. I mean, after the combine, his stock's still high.
Yeah, but if he's gonna have to miss significant time because of his foot, he might fall a few spots.
I watched about 45 seconds of the combine this year, so
Oh yeah.
Well, Chris said Tez Johnson, right? You wanted me to include him. He was a loser.
Yeah,
Or
he was.
I
He
think
was a loser
yeah.
before he even ran the 40.
Stock wise, yeah. Everything else he did was good. I mean, every other drill,
biggest loser. Once he hopped on that scale, loser.
Yep, that's where he lost.
which is
it.
weird. I don't know why he shaved all that weight. He plays at like 165, 170, and he was 154. I don't know why he shaved.
Probably because he didn't hit the weight room. It's what, 3 months?
That's true.
Obviously, he didn't practice running the 40 either. Obviously, he didn't fucking practice. You got guys that are 200 plus pounds at the same position running faster than him.
Well, watch out. Mark's going to defend it
yeah,
because he hit the
50
highest.
You got
speed.
wide receivers that are
No, I will
50 pounds
say-
heavier, running faster.
I will say that his game speed is. It's like, for example, Matthew Golden, one of the second fastest 40 in the combine this year. But his game speed doesn't show that. He's not a guy that goes. He doesn't burn past you. He's not a flashy receiver like that. That's like why it was weird. Isaiah Bond ran a 4.39, and Golden ran the 4.29 because Bond was faster on film than what Golden is. So
Golden stock, it's going up.
well, yeah, his stock went up, but that's why I'm saying like game speed and 40 times, they don't always equate together like that. So I think that yes, Tez Johnson's 40 was bad. It was a terrible look in the pro day. He needs to show something if his stock wants to go up. But as playing in the NFL, I don't think it's going to hurt him. Now maybe the weight might, but the speed
weight's
I don't
gonna hurt.
Yeah, the weight is going to be a problem, but I don't think the speed is going to be an issue because his speed is different on actual like the field when it comes to
What is
pads.
I'm not
what is Zay Flowers
I'm not
weigh?
saying.
He obviously weighs more than 165. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I think he plays around 170, 180.
I was gonna say 185.
I'm not-
who are
I'm
y'all
not
talking
saying
about?
that
What
is
came in at
Tez
154?
Johnson.
Tez Johnson weighed. He's Oregon's receiver. He's number
Oregon.
one receiver. 154 doc he weighed, but his playing weight is like 165, 170. So he shaved like 10, 15 pounds just for the combine.
Probably try to get faster. which
Yeah, he
didn't
was trying to run a fast 40, and then he ran like a 4.
shit.
What
He
he ran
practiced the
like a
wrong
4
way.
Oh fuck, a 4.5 140?
At 154. That's how much he weighs, Doc, for the combine.
Bro, the win. They could have put a fan behind him and he could have run that shit in 3 seconds less.
I mean,
Zay-
yeah, it's
Zay Flowers
his
is
stock.
183.
His stock definitely got hurt. I agree with that part. But I mean, I guess we'll see the pro day. I mean, if the pro
Hey, look,
day
he has the traits or talents to be above average backup. Okay, based on his
Yeah,
combine.
He was good. He was good in college. He was good at Oregon.
College don't always translate.
everyone's saying
College
Abuka,
mostly don't translate.
everyone's saying that Abuka stock took a hit too. Maybe it's because Golden's took a bump up the right way, but everyone's saying Abuka's fell down a little bit too.
He'll
I
probably
didn't even
late
see
first rounder
anything
still.
about him. So
I don't think he.
I don't
participated.
know. I don't know why. That's what I'm saying. He didn't participate. I don't know why his stock. Now, okay, I guess if Golden goes up, his goes down. But they're saying like he's got like a negative, like some negative reviews. I was seeing someone like talking about it. I was like, I don't understand how he has negative comments if he didn't participate.
maybe he didn't do good on the stupid test.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, CJ Stroud, big dumb too, and
Apparently,
Hey, Will Howard, big dum dum as well.
his
Oh, is he?
stock went. His
Yeah,
stock
he
went
didn't.
down though.
He did not do good on the test
He didn't throw the
or
ball.
the
really.
passing. No, he did not.
I thought
But you know what?
I watched the
he's
QB's
thrown to-
pass. I thought
No.
I thought he did okay.
Yeah,
No, he
the,
was.
the clips that they showed were good, but then when you start showing,
Oh,
it was the deep.
I watched
deep
them.
passes.
I watched all like the deep passes are like, come on, you don't know how fast a wide receiver is going to run. I
Hey,
gave a lot
no
of
other
most of the
quarterback had an
quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks had issues with deep passes.
There were two QBs
If
that
you
had
watch-
problems.
If you watch them full, Dylan Gabriel had problems with it. He was fucking-
That was the guy. Gabriel and Will Howard are the only two that truly had problems with the receivers.
And that's why they wait till pro day to throw.
Pro day, that answers the question right there, Doc, is why the top quarterbacks. Okay, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, those guys have to do the combine because they're trying to bump their stock up.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
Ewers,
Jalen Milroe's
Ewers is-
hands
he-
grow.
you were struggling
Yeah.
on the intermediate passes, like the out routes. Ewers could not hit those fucking out routes.
It's
He
because
looks
he's
fun.
used to the screen pass, Luke.
Yeah,
He's
he's
used
like
to the screen
5-10
pass.
yards downfield. Ewers
Yeah.
fucking. He was
Yeah.
5-10 yards
It
off.
has to be behind the
Man.
the line of scrimmage. 100% accuracy right there.
He's really
he's
good
pretty
behind
good,
line of
yeah.
scrimmage.
He's
It-
good.
it's a
I
start-
mean, I don't know
That's
the
his
throws
first
I
special
saw.
right there.
The throws I saw because I watched Quinn Ewers mainly. He looked fine to me. I mean,
You
he was
missed
hitting
his
his
out routes.
yeah, he was hitting his guys.
No,
He doesn't know
he-
the receivers, man. Hey, he doesn't know those receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nobody
I
knows.
don't know the
Hey, Gabriel,
No.
spot on those out routes.
Oh yeah, I mean
It's
he's
deep balls.
good. Yeah, but guys,
The
an interesting debate that me, you, and Luke were having, Chris and Wade, which surprisingly actually caught me off guard. I was like, man, Wade's fucking coming in this chat hard. I called Doc after, and me and Doc talked. So Travis Hunter had some comments, guys, and we all know
stupidest comment ever.
he was comparing just himself and Shohei Ohtani. There's a thing I didn't mention to you and Luke, Chris, because I wanted to wait to this. So he's comparing what he does in college football and what he can do in the NFL level, playing corner and playing wide receiver, compared to what Shohei Ohtani's doing, which is being a pitcher and a designated hitter. And he said that it's harder for the NFL player to do that compared to what Ohtani's doing. And before y'all jump in, I will say I agree with Travis Hunter. In the history of the MLB and the NFL, at a high volume rate, a two-way player has not succeeded in the NFL. There have been two-way players in MLB. Now, Ohtani is doing it. No college ball players ever came into the NFL and done it to the high volume that we're expecting Travis Hunter to potentially try and do. 100-plus plays a game. You can say Deion Sanders did it. That's not the same thing. High volume is not being sprinkled in here and there. Devin Hester, same thing. It sprinkles in here and there. That's the situation I'm talking about. Ohtani's also a fucking DH. He's equivalent to a goddamn punter in the NFL. That's what he is. He's a punter in the NFL. He does one thing, hits the ball. Now, it's very hard to do, but that's what he's known. That's all he has to do is go out there and pitch and do that. So, in my mind, if you're going to tell me that a two-way player or a DH and a pitcher is the hardest thing to do, then you might as well say being a baseball player in general is harder than playing two positions in the football, because that's what they all do anyways, is play a position and then go hit. So that means baseball in general is already harder than playing two positions in the NFL. That's what it is, in my opinion.
No, you lost at the very end. You can't compare a player to a player in the NFL or hitting the ball, a player compared to hitting the ball. I mean,
You're
he's a
doing two
fucking
things.
pitcher.
It's so different. Like,
He's a pitcher.
you can't compare it.
He's not just fucking a left field where he just sits there and waits for a ball to come his way and
no.
catches it.
It's probably been a while since you caught a ball.
But he also just DHs.
It's
So
ain't
like,
easy.
But that's the other
Yeah,
thing is when
okay,
he's
and
not
then-
pitching, all he's doing is DHing.
Okay, and when he is pitching, or when
he
he is
pitches
hitting-
one, maybe two times a week. He's not pitching every day.
no,
He's
I mean, I
not
know
fielding
that.
every day. He does it one time a week, maybe two.
If he
He
did
gets
not
lucky.
DH, if he did not DH outside of his pitching days, I would say yes, he's got a chance. Because look, you talk about Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball, and you're risking injury, you're risking hits, you're risking knees, ankles, all of that shit. All right, you're risking your arm on the mound, your elbow. You're not doing that shit on defense when you're not pitching. He proved that he can't do that. He can't do that because his first 4 fucking seasons with the Angels, he kept getting hurt because he was trying to play all across the field on his off days of pitching. I agree with Mark. It's the equivalent. The DH is the equivalent of being a punter. He is essentially a pitcher and a bullpen catcher. Not even that. The bullpen catcher does more than he does on non-pitching days. I'm going to be honest, because the bullpen catcher got a squat. It takes a toll on your knees, dude.
Well,
Takes-
catcher is
takes
one. I would
total.
say catching is probably one of the worst things.
Let
to do.
me put. Okay, let me say is like the equivalent of a pitcher and a bullpen coach.
Okay, I'll ask you this: What's harder, hitting a baseball or running a route to catch?
Well,
a football?
so hang on. So we're talking
which
two
one's
different things
no,
here.
no,
No.
we're not.
One
We're comparing
One
two
is tougher.
hitters.
No,
Oh,
because me
listen,
and Mark
is
talked
he a
about this.
hitter?
Me and Mark talked about this. One is tougher physically. One is tougher like skill wise. I don't care what you say. Baseball will always be the toughest skill sport on the fucking planet because you literally have 0.3 of a second or less to make up your
Okay,
mind about
so
whether you're going to swing and where you're
answered
going
the
to swing.
But
You
the
answered
question
the
was about. But Travis Hunter didn't say what's more skilled. He's saying what's harder to do.
Yeah, and what's harder to do?
Being
Hit a
healthy.
baseball?
Being
No,
healthy
hitting a
is that
baseball?
yes.
Or
Chris,
The
if
argument
Shohei-
can be made on two different avenues for both sides.
Okay, so hardest thing to do.
Because
I agree.
honestly,
hitting a
I'm going to be
baseball
honest. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Travis Hunter. Being a hitter in the MLB is the hardest thing to do in all sports.
okay, so you
You
answered.
don't
but
even
it's
need to
not-
be a two-way
You
player.
answer your
Chris-
question.
But Chris,
You
you're also
literally answered.
no. You're
But that
You're
is
also
on
comparing
that
two-
is on a skill and reaction level. That is not on a level of physicality of Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball in football,
being a
especially
hitter.
in the
Yes,
NFL.
I agree. Hitting the ball's harder, but you're also adding the factor that he's playing corner and wide receiver. Now, if we're saying 1-for-1, okay, I will give you that. 1-for-1 is harder, but he's doing a two thing. He's doing two positions. You're already fielding in MLB. So, like I said, a shortstop, a third baseman, any position, they're already fielding the ball and
He
hitting.
could be playing first base. You ain't got to fucking use your arm for that.
And
First
by the
baseman
way,
will never throw the ball.
if he gets hurt, we saw what happened when he tore his when he had Tommy John surgery. He was still able to go hit. If Travis Hunter sprains his shoulder or breaks it, he can't go play the other position. He's done. He's completely done for the season.
Has Travis played yet in the NFL?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But there's been more two-way players in MLB.
That's why it's a fucking.
and there's
moot
been in
point,
the
dude.
NFL.
Fucking Travis Hunter is running his fucking mouth. Fuck Travis Hunter.
That's
I still
because
wanna know-
coaches. That's because coaches don't want you to run two-way
Right? They
in
don't.
the NFL.
because
They don't. Well, they don't
How
in
many
baseball either.
GMs? How many GMs have said Travis isn't going to play two-way?
because it's physically.
How many times?
It's because it's physically more impossible to do for your body.
It's
not
every
the
like
skill
baseball.
factor, it's the
Baseball is
physicality.
the same shit. There are so many people that came up wanting to play two-way. I just tried to pull up a list of two-way players in MLB history, and it's kind of annoying because it includes people that started out as a pitcher and then moved to hitting, or started out as a hitter and then moved to pitching. Because Babe Ruth was really very minimally a two-way player. There was very minimal crossover as far as the two-way player playing both sides full time. He was really a pitcher in the beginning. There was a slow crossover, small crossover, and then he went to hitting full time.
I would just say, like, the thing is, though, I would believe if you let MLB players be two-way players in the NFL, MLB players would have more success doing it because of physicality. And that's what it's about. He didn't say what's harder skilled-wise. See, now we're adding like, the narrative of what he meant. What he said is it's harder to do. I mean, if you can't play it because you're hurt, it's harder to do. I mean, skill. I mean, yes, I get it. One's harder skill-wise, but if he can't go do 120 plays a game on both sides consecutively, it's a lot harder than being a pitcher or
Honestly-
a shortstop and a hitter.
Hey,
Let me
Yeah,
see
you can
Travis
be
do it.
fat. You can be fat and play both ways in baseball.
Let me see Travis. No, you can't. You
Makes-
can't be fat and play both
Well,
ways.
that
in
makes
baseball.
David Ortiz did it.
David
He's a
Ortiz did
DH.
what?
He,
No,
he
he's
hit, and fucking
He's a DH.
He hitting what, Luke?
he played first base, didn't he?
That's not two ways.
No,
That's
he
not
played.
two ways.
No. He played first base when they played the National League, and they had to have a first baseman because there's no DH. Now, if it was
They
DH
played-
only, like
No,
When he
two
played
ways. Two ways is pitching and hitting. Defense and hitting is not two ways because 99% of the MLB does that. 99.9% of the MLB does that. That's not two way.
I would just say, like my opinion, if you allow both sports to do it, the MLB guys will have better success rate than the NFL guys because they're going to be on the field and they're going to be able to do it. Like the NFL players, Travis Hunter can't go tackle guys and then go play wide receiver. He's probably going to get hurt, like y'all said. That just shows me it's harder. And that's what he meant, I believe. I don't believe he meant skill.
Physically, it's harder on the NFL side because it's more taxing on the body. And I'm telling you right now, let me see fucking Travis Hunter make it through his first full season. If a team that picks him even lets him go 2 weeks, I don't think it's going to fucking happen. But let me see him get, because the NFL hits much different, much goddamn different than the Pac-12 or the Big 12. I'm going to tell you right now.
Put some respect on UCF's conference, Doc. Put some fucking
Okay,
respect.
well, it's not. We haven't
we
even
don't play
seen
defense.
Travis Hunter play skillful teams.
Whoa!
Calm
You're
down,
saying-
Luke. Calm down, Luke.
You're saying you're saying but he's played at a high level at both positions. Okay,
There's-
then
you can say
Hey,
high level.
hey,
There's not You know,
He was
there's
also the
different
number one
levels in
recruit.
college.
Hey,
He was
welcome-
also the number one recruit in the country too.
Welcome to every fucking college football player then that goes to the next level before they make it. They play half the time trash teams. That's college football. That's college 101. You play
said
garbage teams.
Okay, half the time.
You know, like 90% of
Colorado,
the
100% of the time.
players,
They
90%
played
of the
what?
players.
One ranked
that-
team last year.
I mean,
One-ranked team.
actually, according
Kansas
according to you, Chris, if you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, your conference is shit. So Cam Scatterbo, all those guys that are high names that were fucking sucking up right now, we shouldn't credit them because they play trash teams most of the time.
And we
They
saw
know
what
RJ
what
happened.
Harvey, all of them.
We saw what happened to the bottom tier teams in the playoffs, didn't we?
But you're talking
Texas
about
should have
just-
lost.
But you're talking about skill guy. Well, you can say the same thing, Luke, about Arizona State. Cam Scatterbo got dragged into the end zone, which should have been a flag too. So same. If you want to keep going there and calling plays out, I can say the same
Targeting.
thing. Okay, well,
Good
before that, Cam Scatterbo got dragged in the end zone by his offensive lineman, which is a 10-yard penalty.
Should have
So-
been a cakewalk for Texas.
Well,
And you struggled.
okay, well, we
Then,
won.
then you went and played a Big Ten team and fucking got blown out.
I wouldn't say we got blown out,
Oof.
but it was a fourth quarter game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever.
All right, we're getting off track here.
But
Getting off
I mean,
track
it's,
here.
Yep, good episode, boys.
well, guys, so Monday night, I hoping to be back in here because it's free agency. So I don't know who's gonna be in here. I don't care who's in here. We will be live. If it's a one-man band, I think Jake wants to get in here. We want to talk free agency. Like I said, we're gonna start to figure out where everyone's going, guys.
Jake wants to get in every fucking episode, but you can't get in when you don't ever answer your phone.
Well, I think he was ready
Basketball
last.
season.
I was
It's
just
crazy. It's
talking shit about fantasy
NBA
trades.
season.
It's crazy. It's basketball season, but football's still the talk of the town. Hey, Bronny James got a highlight. I don't know if you guys saw the TikTok I saw.
Fuck Bronny James. Fuck the Charmin Basketball Association.
He had a great highlight.
Great rebound and then a 3-point attempt. But guys,
Oh,
great
his last
episode.
name is James. He came off the bench and it was a great highlight.
Be careful. If LeBron sees you, he might do what he did to Stephen A. So be
Steven
careful
Smith
about it.
will back you up.
What did he do to Stephen A?
He confronted Stephen A. because of the stuff that he said about Bronny. Well, he wasn't about Bronny. It was more about how LeBron used like his leverage and power to get him in the league and saying he would do all this and all that. And LeBron came to him as more of a father figure than a player. I mean, hey, kid's 19, 20 years old and can't defend his own battles. So it's pretty crazy.
Also, congrats to
know he
Stephen A.
shouldn't be
Just, you
there.
know, Stephen A. just got a 5-year deal. Congrats to him.
Yep.
Yeah, I love how they they broke news. Like he's giving like a speech, like thank you everyone for this like, dude, you're one of the faces of ESPN. Of course you're gonna get a deal. Like you are literally one of the top 2 guys in the fucking company. So,
Number
but
2.
great episode.
Yep, great to be back.
Yeah, you say what you want to say, Luke. I'm not gonna get there with that one. I know number 1 is
Pass number 1.
he is. But great episode, boys. Next week we'll be back. We've had some requests. People want to start seeing some position breakdowns for the draft, especially these running backs and the receivers. So for dynasty purposes. But this is All About the Balls podcast. We'll be live next week with some free agency overreactions, honestly. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule, Chris Gemeinhart, Nick the Doc Skirkwins. This is All About the Balls podcast. We are back. Have a great night.